once again back with Senator Hoeven. I hope he can hear us. Senator, you saw this last week, but as I was mentioning when we were trying to get to you in the beginning, it's grown a lot just since last week.
Well, that's it. We were there Thursday and Friday. At that time, it was about 3,000 migrants a day coming across the border illegally. And it's just remarkable. We actually went down Thursday night with the Border Patrol Union. They took us down and showed us things essentially that the administration wouldn't. We were in the Rio Grande Valley. We went down to the Rio Grande and saw the trails where migrants are coming over the border illegally. And if you can believe it, Neil, they're being processed under a bridge, under the Ansel Duas Bridge, which is a large bridge over the Rio Grande near McAllen. They're processed in 8 or 9 hours. Then they're sent into McAllen. They're turned over to NGOs, and they get on a bus and they go off into wherever in the country.
Now, Senator, that process obviously gets stymied when there are so many going through that process. Did you get any indication that when they go to these other facilities, it speeds up at those facilities? They're adjudicated quickly, and those that are have to go back will go back. But because I'm hearing that in a lot of cases, we don't know, especially the case of teenagers where their family members are, how and when to send them back, if that's even possible. It sounds like they're going to be here for a while.
Well, exactly, Neil. What's happening is, again, in some cases, they were just being processed under a bridge. And we saw hundreds and hundreds of children and mothers, and they didn't even go to the processing center. They go into town and, like, say, given a bus ticket, and off they go. They are given, a notice that they're supposed to appear in court. But in many cases, that's not for 3 or 4 years. So think about it. They're being sent into the interior of the country. They may have a contact. It may be a family member, or it may be even the cartel, because the cartels are operating in our country as well as on the border. And then they don't even have a hearing date for 3 to 4 years, Neil. Of course, they don't come back for that. So once they're here and they go into the country, that's it. They're here. And that's why they're coming, because they know that's what's going on.
Many of them are disputing, oh, no, if we are given a hearing, we'll go. You're right. I mean, these numbers are so overwhelming that even if a small percentage don't do that, it's huge numbers. But it occurs at the same time, Senator, that we're getting word of another caravan that could be forming in Guatemala. Still more news that these are not just those from Mexico or Point South America. We're learning right now, Eritrea, Africa, a host of other countries you would not normally associate with this flood of people hitting our border. How would you describe this right now?
Well, it really is a crisis, Neil. Let me just tell you a couple other things. The Border Patrol agents, and again, we actually were out at Thursday night, and we were out till like 1 o'clock in the morning with the Border Patrol agents, with their union, to find out what's really going on. And that's why we were down there, is not only to understand exactly what's going on, but to bring attention to it so Americans understand what's going on. The Border Patrol agents indicated that there are actually migrants coming in here illegally from as many as 54 different countries. This isn't just Central America. And while these unaccompanied minors and these families come through, for example, in the Rio Grande sector, then the drug dealers and the cartels operate in the other sectors, and the Border Patrol agents are tied up with all these migrants, that are coming across, the women and the children and the family units. The Donna facility that we looked at was designed for 1,000 individuals, parents and children, families and children. Right. The COVID protocols are not supposed to have more than 250. They had 4,200 people just in that one center. And again, a lot of these people aren't even going to the centers. They're being released into society. And of course, now, as you've seen, the Biden administration wants to start renting hotel rooms. They're talking about spending almost $87 million to house 1,200 migrant families in hotel rooms. So it's gone well beyond what they can handle. And that's why we've got to go back to the policies that'll work. There are solutions. We talked to the Border Patrol agents about solutions, and we can go through those for a minute, too. But this can be addressed if we change the policy.
Kamala Harris is in charge of this, although we're told that right now when it comes to migrants, she's not really in charge of these facilities, overseeing that. So we're not very clear outside of maybe crafting a policy, to get a handle on this, what immediate help she might be able to provide. Do you have any idea? If you were to talk to her, what would you tell her?
Yes. Yes, I asked the professionals, and that's what the Biden administration needs to do. Ask the professionals, the Customs and Border Protection, DHS, the Border Patrol agents that are down there doing the job. And they're amazing people. They're working hard in tough, tough circumstances. They're frustrated. And I asked them, I said, what are the one or two things we could do right now to get a grip on this situation and then fix it? And the first thing they said is you've got to have the Remain in Mexico and the third safe country protocols reinstated, because then people either remain in Mexico or in their country and apply for asylum, and then if granted asylum, then they come. That would address the flow right now. And remember, at the rate we're going to have way over 1 million in a year's time. Month of February, it was 100,000 illegal migrants, and the number's getting bigger. So you've got to make that kind of change and then do the other things that need to be required, the border security, making sure that you enforce the laws and those kind of things. And ultimately, we've got to reform our immigration system. And don't forget, this is illegal immigration on top of more than 1 million people that come here legally every year.
All right, Senator, thank you very, very much. We'll watch this one very, very closely.